Royal Champion Charge Mass Super Yetis is the strongest Town Hall 17 attack strategy. It is completely unstoppable, and today I'm going to teach you how to use it. Here is the attack strategy for today's video. Now, the biggest thing you'll see here is we have 7 of the Super Yetis, which is quite a lot. I know a lot of other attack strategies will bring either 5 healers or even potentially 5 healers and a few Electro Titans, because they do work very well. But I just go with 7 Super Yetis, and to be honest, I don't struggle with it at all. I think the biggest benefactor here is if you bring healers and they go down to red bombs early, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. But if you just bring 7 Super Yetis, you don't need the healers anyway. Just run over the Town Hall 17 base. So how should you use the strongest Town Hall 17 attack strategy? Well, we start off with a Royal Champion Charge. Now, you've only got 4 invis spells with this attack strategy, so you don't need insane value. In fact, you're going to see in this attack here, I don't even get the value out of 4 invis spells, because look, this invis spell just misses, so I have to use a double up on them there. So we're only going to get the value of 3 invis spells, and we're still going to be able to get some pretty nice defensive value, but also a nice funnel. We don't need a massive funnel like you do with Root Riders. Just this is more than enough. Then you're going to start your Archer Queen and the Siege Barracks on the bottom side of the base to set a funnel. Then we deploy the Super Yetis, Ice Golem, Super Yetis, regular Warden, Apprentice Warden, then Wall Break. Then we want to put the King down, and you're going to delay your Royal Champion till just before you pop your Warden ability, because she's quite low on health and we want to get her in the healing tome. We get these deep layer Wall Breakers in, because we need to get the Super Yetis as far through the base as possible, because we've only got a jump spell and the Barbarian King ability. You're going to see here the true power of the Electromites. Look at this geared up tower. It is going to go down thanks to the chains. Here we go. Bam. It goes down. Now we're going to use the King ability to get out of the center of the base here. Keep in mind, I've still got my jump spell as well. So King ability, jump spell is generally always going to be enough to take down the base. Look at my Royal Champion here. She is all the way back to full health. Now, if you're very, very good with your eyes, you'll notice I use the Royal Champion ability in this attack. Essentially, you use the Rocket Spear ability during the Super Yeti part of the push so that the Royal Champion can either snipe defenses that the Super Yetis can't, like if it's an isolated Town Hall on this base, or you use it because the Royal Champion's gotten out in front of your Super Yetis and you need her to slow down so that the Super Yetis can get back out in front. In terms of the other hero equipment, you can see it here. I mean, the Archer Queen, you can run the action figure if you want. It's definitely usable. I barely use the Archer Queen hero equipment with this attack strategy. I mean, her ability is completely unnecessary. Then obviously that for the Barbarian King. This, in my opinion, is it's not easily the strongest Town Hall 17 attack strategy, but it definitely is close. So yeah, we take down a pretty common style of base here. Let's jump into the next one. This base is pretty common, so I thought I'd do an attack taking it down. So we got the Royal Champion Charge on the top side, and she's just got to clear the Monolith and the Ricochet Cannon here. That is more than enough value, in my opinion. We get the Invis down here. Beautiful. Now, keeping the Fox alive is really nice. So you'll find a lot of the time that, if you use an Invis timed perfectly, you will get more value out of your RC, but your Fox will take more damage. Look at this. The Fox takes an extra hit here because I don't use the Invis early, and same here, and the Fox goes down. And whilst the Royal Champion maybe got a building extra here, it's not worth it for the Fox to go down. So don't do what I did there. Use your invis spells earlier some of the time. Yeah, it won't look like you're getting the value out of the Fox immediately, but you will make it up later in the attack, because keep in mind, the Fox will get in your healing tome ability too, so it will get healed up to max. Then the Royal Champion on the back end of the base is kind of gross. Queen goes in and gets rid of the single Inferno. We're going to use the jump spell here. Remember, you can't use your jump spell and your King ability together, so if you're going to use the jump spell early, you better make sure your King is quite healthy, and thankfully, I still had the Warden ability here. Now look, the Royal Champion is in the core of the base, so far from any defenses, so I decided to use the Royal Champion ability here, because otherwise she would have gone out in front by running to that bomb tower and taken a whole world of damage that she's just not capable of taking. rather than she clears out a whole bunch of defenses. Then we have the Super Yetis and the King clearing out a huge chunk of base here, and look at it. We went through 2 Rage Towers. We didn't even use the Royal Champion charge to negate any of the spell towers on the base. We just go straight through them like a hot knife through butter. And look, if I had my Fox here, the Royal Champion probably lives. Just goes down, a little bit unlucky, but yet again, look at how many Super Yetis we have up. It's ridiculous, because you're just bringing so many extra troops. There is no healer. There is no balloon. You don't need any of those. Just bring more Super Yetis. This troop is disgusting. Now, I know the question a lot of you will have. What about when we're going against bases with invis towers? Now, the simple solution is you could just bring the giant arrow on the Archer Queen, drop the magic mirror, and that would still work out, because keep in mind, I don't think I've used my Archer Queen ability this entire video yet, so that's probably the simplest way. But keep in mind, the healer puppet and the magic mirror is a really nice combo on the outside of the base. So the other option is as simple as this. We are going to save 1 invis spell. So unfortunately, the Fox dies at an imperfect time there. It was about to go off again. But yeah, we only used 3 invis spells with that Royal Champion charge. We've got a skeleton spell and an invis spell left, and we're going to do that trick. So we've got the siege barracks on the top side. Going to set a funnel. I used the ice golem up there because that ricochet cannon would have been a complete nuisance. We wall break in for the Super Yeti push, and any second now I'm going to activate the invis tower. I didn't want to do it any earlier because then it might reset by the time that my troops get there. You put a skeleton spell down, then an invis, and you just get them to target one of the buildings, and beautiful, we've activated the invis tower. It does cost us 2 spell troop space, but that's fine. That's fine, and now we can absolutely go ham on the core of the base here. I mean, look, we've got all the Super Yetis in there. I popped the Royal Champion ability here because, I mean, why not? It's the center of the base. We can do maximum damage. I probably should have waited, though, and used the Royal Champion ability like now. Thankfully, she goes up to the top side of the base and helps out the Archer Queen. We jump to the back end. The Super Yetis and the King step across. I mean, look, we don't have any healers, so these Super Yetis aren't going to be healed up. But there's still so many of them up. In fact, there's probably more of them up currently than you would have in the Super Yeti healer attack strategy. So why bring a healer, right? If you could keep them all alive anyway. Royal Champion doing absolute best. That Builder Hut is going ham. Royal Champion's going to finish off the base, and yet again, Queen ability unused. So Giant Arrow, genuine option for this army, particularly if there's 2 invis towers, because if there's 2, obviously this trick, it doesn't work. But, I mean, I just think this attack is ridiculous. How are you going to stop it? And we're going to finish off with a diamond base, just so that you've all seen basically every different style of base you can possibly run into. That way you know you're going to be able to crush bases with this attack strategy. So, Royal Champion coming in. Time that invis half second too late, but it's really not the end of the world. That way there's nothing going to target from the end of the invis. I thought she was going to go for the poison tower here. She goes up, and that makes this a complete mess. And look at this here. I recall before the invis even ends, just to make sure I keep that Fox alive. Because if we have that Fox, that is a huge value troop of ours for the back end of the base. Super Yetis, yet again, straight down the middle. I mean, the formula doesn't change. This Super Minion is really annoying. It kind of forces me to put the Royal Champion down early. So you do need to keep that in mind if you go straight into a Super Minion like this. Because, yeah, it completely wrecked one of the troops. And it finished off the Fox before we could heal it up. So that is a little bit annoying after I worked so hard to keep it alive. Notice how the Royal Champion's gone in front here. So I believe I pop her ability. Yep, you can see right now. And this attack isn't looking good. It isn't at all. And we're still going to get a pretty convincing 3-star because Super Yetis refuse to die. Now, it helps that the healers switch onto them. But honestly, I don't think this is the difference between us tripling or not. Royal Champion does so much damage. And then look at that. The King ability opens the entire core and back end of the base. We use the skeleton spell to just basically neutralize that monolith. The Royal Champion is back to full health. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, and this is a 3-star. So if you want me to sum it up, right? If you want to do the 5 healers with either 5 Super Yetis or 4 Super Yetis and 2 Titans, that version of this army is still really strong. The biggest weakness of that is I just think you have a different way to fail. Like, you can fail because of red bombs. I can never fail because of red bombs in this attack. Now, if I'm probably more likely to have the Super Yetis go down without healers, I just think this is way safer though. Way safer. Takes a bit of RNG and good base building out of the hands of the defender, and as long as you get the Super Yetis inside the base, it just feels like there is nowhere near enough damage at Town Hall 17 to stop these ridiculously strong troops. We love the Super Yeti, we like Town Hall 17, and I think this is the strongest attack strategy. But if you want some bases as well, we have so many Town Hall 17 base videos, but the one I'm going to link on the left is the top 10 base video we did. It's got bases for war, Clan War League, pushing, you name it, it's got the base link for you.